everybody. You can probably see that my camera quality isn't as good because I'm having to use a different camera for this. But we're going to go through that. The Xbox One X Scorpio edition. Now, my goal, I don't know if I'll be able to do this all on camera because I'm going to have to scroll behind my TV, and that's not going to make for good television. But what we'll do is I will get my phone out, and what I will do is I will put a stopwatch on once I start hooking this up and unhooking the old one. So I can give you kind of a how this will all work. Alright, by the way, this thing is stout and heavy. It's got to be about 10, 12 pounds. Alright, so we have our guide for installing. Basically, if we want to put it on the stand or sit it flat. Our input, where to plug things in. Not that it's that complex. We have a 1-month trial for Game Pass. Maybe I'll give that code away because I already have Game Pass. We also have a 14-day Xbox Live Gold, which I already have as well. So I'm not sure what I'll do with that. All that came in this nice little Xbox One X sleeve. Alright, so let's see what we got here. One plug. Now, if you have an Xbox One S, this is the identical plug, although I think this one might be a little heavier grade. But otherwise, you can reuse your power cable. In my case, I can't. We have an original Xbox One behind us, which actually has an external power brick, which is hiding way in the back of my entertainment center because I don't want it sticking out and blinding people with its rather bright light. So, but if you're upgrading from an Xbox One S, you can reuse your cable. You don't have to get behind your entertainment center to put your cable in. Unfortunately, I am going to have to do that. It also comes with a 2.0 compliant HDMI cable, which is 4K capable. I don't have a 4K TV right now, but that's in the cards in the future. And the one thing I have to test with that is how it's going to work with my Elgato capture box. So we'll see how that works shortly. Of course, we have our product and regulatory guide. No one cares about that. Alright, what do we got here? I'm not as sophisticated as oh, what's his name used to be. Gosh, he was a showman of this. I still go back and watch his Wii U unboxing.
Oh, that guy, that Asian guy?
Iwata, yes. Shigeru Iwata. I really liked him when he put his gloves on and all that. So it comes with, again, with a black controller. In the Scorpio edition, the Project Scorpio edition, as you can see, just like on the day one controller of the Xbox One, you see how you have your day one edition, which doesn't really mean much of anything. It's the exact same controller. Same thing here. You can see this one just says Project Scorpio, which I'm going to have that upside down. Yeah, so in that little green, Project Scorpio.
Jello?
Also comes with 2 AA batteries, but I'm going to swap out one of my battery packs from my other controller and put it in here so I can have a rechargeable battery. I also have my Design Labs controller, which I really like, which is, I call it my Iron Man controller because of the color scheme. So right now I got like 4 controllers, although one of them doesn't necessarily synchronize that great with the current console, so we'll see how it works. One of them is going to end up sticking with the Xbox One OG and probably going in the bedroom or something to that effect. Or
Then mine was
traveling.
here.
You're gonna end up having to use the one out here anyways, because otherwise the games won't be playable.
I'm saying my controller that I'm getting is gonna go out here.
Yes. Okay, this is the one probably bonus thing that comes with the Scorpio beyond the slightly different paint jobs.
I bought one.
It's the stand, the vertical stand, which
Didn't get one.
Microsoft, I believe, charges you a whopping $20 to $30 for this hardened plastic thing, which snaps.
Green one.
It snaps into place. He has a Battlefield 1 Green Edition Xbox and controller, so his is like, it's vomit green.
Where?
Well, show Mama, she wants to see it. Anyways, this little plastic piece, like I said, it's 20 to 30 bucks if you don't have the Project Scorpio edition. Not that it's much, and I will never use it because normally I always put my consoles vertical. I never stand them up. But my son has his standing. My wife's real excited because she bought one of those customized Design Lab controllers as well. Although I laughed a bit because when she had the chance to support her beloved Patriots, she didn't take the option.
Nope, so there's 2 planes. Yes.
She didn't like the fact that it was just basically a plain white controller with a Patriots logo on it. So that was funny.
I just wanted to look at it.
Okay, so this is the meat and potatoes of what we're opening. It's all wrapped up in its nice little color cover.
Can they see you?
Mm-hmm.
Just you, or what you're doing in your lap as well?
I have my full camera on, so I'm not doing chroma key. So it's everything. They can see the TV behind me and the slightly messy house. Which I'm okay with that.
We've got other things on our minds last month. So.
Okay, so that is the console. It is rather similar in design to the S. It is slightly smaller than the S, but it does have pretty much the same profile. As you can see down here, there's 2 little holes. That's where the stand would go if you were going to use it. Also, it's not going to show up very well. There's 2 things on here of note. Number 1, we have the Project Scorpio again right in front. But more importantly, and I'll probably have to take a picture of this to see if I can make it show up better. On the Project Scorpio ones, and I'll try to get this in here, but it's probably not going to show up very well. Right here, you can see that slight etching. Right there. Hey, and that etching basically says, "Hello from Seattle." Basically, oh, I'm sorry. My brain got a little ahead of me. Real quick on the outputs on the back. Let's see here. I'm checking for something real quick. Ah, I see what they're talking about. Okay. In the back here, we have all of our ports. So we've got our out, in from the cable box. This is the out, which has a little nub on it. So if you have to reach behind your console, it's like I do for streaming and disconnecting and reconnecting, being able to feel that little bump lets me know the exact proper connector I have to get. That's the power cable. As you can see, no external power box. This is just going to plug right in there. Fortunately for me, I have to get behind my thing and pull my old cable out. So we have our in or out to the TV, in from the cable, USB, USB. This is an IR blaster. That's the Toslink if you're using digital optical audio. And you got your network cable. So I actually am going to be using both my input and output because I have a cable box and I do run the cable through here because I also, as you can see behind me, use Connect. I know, it's a dirty word to some people, but I really like using Connect. And I use the audio commands on a regular basis, and I'm not ashamed to say that. However, that also means, and something that really pisses me off, I had to buy one of these extra.
What? Feeling a bowel movement?
So, well, hopefully all you enjoyed that because my son just came out here and said he's feeling a bowel movement coming on. He's been a bit constipated. This is, as you can see, there's a port I did not mention on the back of this, and it's not on the Xbox One S either, and that is the dedicated Connect port. Doesn't exist at all. Instead, Microsoft wants you to use this handy dandy kit, which is very similar to the original Connect for 360 before they came out with the S and E models that had dedicated Connect ports. It used to be you would have to plug this into the wall. It would go to a power adapter. The Connect would plug in. Our Connect plugs in here, goes out. There's a power cable, I believe, that comes out of here, and then a USB cable. It's a whole lot of crap. But if you had at least had the S, they gave this to you for free. You could call them and you could email them and they would give you this for free. Saying, hey, if you're going and upgrading to an S, we're going to supply this for free. And then about 3 months after the S came out, they said, okay, well, we've given you enough time. No longer free. $40. One problem with that. Because you have a bunch of people that are getting an X right now that may be using Connect. They have to buy one of these. And because of the demand, they are sold out everywhere. Matter of fact, I was lucky enough before it sold out on eBay, or not on eBay, on Newegg, I was able to pick it up, but I still had to pay a $10 premium. I had to pay $50 for this, not $40. Right now, if you go onto the Amazon Marketplace, they're selling these for anywhere between $80 and $100. The Microsoft store is sold out with no current status on when they will be back in stock. So if you do not have one of these, you're either going to pay in a very expensive premium to get one soon, or you're not going to use your Connect for a while. So, that's what we have. So we have the controller, the console. Now, my plan is, let me move out of the way a little bit here. And let me tilt this down just a little more. That glowing white light there, that is the Xbox. That is my OG Xbox. I'm going to make sure I don't have a disc in there, which I don't. I'm going to slide that out. This is my 8 terabyte external drive that is hooked up to it. So what we've got to do is, that's my PlayStation 4, Wii U. This is my external drive for the PlayStation 4, Xbox 360 cable box. Check that arcade right there. HD DVD drive. Still works.
You still use it.
And I still use it for watch DVDs on occasion, and HD DVDs, which I do have some of those.
You have a whole bunch of them.
And then we have a PS2 over here, which I don't even know if it's hooked up, to be honest. We also have an external drive for the Wii U, because it only came with 32 gigs of internal memory. So that's funny. And Nintendo hasn't learned, because the Nintendo Switch only comes with 32 gigs of internal memory. I also got a couple killer DVD, the killer and hard-boiled Blu-rays up there because I haven't put them away since Christmas. 60-inch screen because people have asked. It's getting replaced with probably a 65-inch 4K TV. Some point, hopefully by the end of the year. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna kill the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and dig behind the TV to follow my cables. I'm gonna pull my HDMI cable, put the new HDMI cable in, and then thread all my other cables, get my power hooked up for the Connect, and then we'll come back. I'm going to get my phone over here. Sorry about that. That was an extreme close-up crotch shot. Not on purpose. I'm going to go over here and go to stopwatch. I mean, if you want to watch, you're more than welcome. I can keep the stream running if you guys want to watch it. It's just going to be a lot of my ass while I'm behind the underneath my entertainment center and behind it. I can try to talk through it as I go. If that's what you want, I'm more than welcome to do that. I'll turn the camera up just a little bit.
You mean more than happy to do that?
What? What?
I said more than happy to do it, not more than welcome to.
Oh, I guess more than happy. I guess my wife is grammar Naziing me right now. Alright. Well then, in that case, let's get this thing turned off. Oh wait, before I do that, I should, which one? This one will work. Before we do that, this right here, if you have an Xbox One or a One S, this is a thing you want to add to your dashboard. And the reason I say that is, you will want to back up your settings. Now here's the thing that's kind of pissy about that. It'll only let you back up one profile. So if I back up my wife's, then it won't back up mine. If I back up mine, it won't back up my wife's. Now, the only thing this is really needed for is for general settings, but it does need to be for one of the primary users. So I'm going to go ahead and put my on there. I can always sign my wife in and my son in after that, and then all their stuff will come down. The only thing I have to do is uncheck this as their home Xbox and then check the other one as their new home Xbox. So that's as simple as just going through and backing up. See, like here we go and we say back up, back up. And basically it's backing up like, it's not you're backing up your save games, all that's in the cloud, so your stuff's going to come back down from the cloud. The next thing, you can do a network transfer if you want to transfer stuff over your network from one Xbox One to your Xbox One X. I didn't bother with that because basically I copied everything off of that hard drive to my external drive. And then the last thing is I've had downloads happening for the last 6 days with 4K content or enhanced content or whatever for the Xbox One. So hopefully when we plug this in, most of the games that supported at launch will already have their patches download. As a matter of fact, there were about 3 or 4 this morning that were still downloading. I think they're done. So, with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and kill this by pressing and holding this, which will kill the power. Voila. Alright. So, that's power. That's HDMI. That's cable HDMI. There's old Xbox. OG big box. And it's dirty. Yeah. You can see where the biggest fan is, where that circle is. That's where it's blowing out most of its exhaust.
That'll go to the bedroom.
Yeah. So, you know, the other thing is, and this kind of made me sad, although I think mine right now only has one as well. But I'm going to lose a USB port on this thing because in the back I have to now hook up one of my USBs for... No, the kid actually has an Xbox One S. This one's probably going to go in the bedroom. Occasionally it might come with me to work. If I want to stream now at lunch, we're getting our 100 megabit fiber connection soon, so I might bring it with me on occasion to work and stream at lunch. But yeah, he's had an Xbox One S, which is a better one than I got. So, let's see. That's my Connect. That's my cable box. That's the old power cable. So let's thread that out of here. Ow, this thing is hot. See? Power brick. That's from the old one. This is now built into here. That's the only problem. Having to carry that thing back and forth to work. I have to carry that big ass power brick. So there may be less of a case of that happening than you think. Alright, so that's that. This is my old cable. Now I gotta follow this bad boy around. That's that one right there. Okay. Ugh. Woo! Very dusty, as you can see. Very dusty. So now I am looking for these two cables. This is my HDMI cable that I'm unbundling right here. I should get into camera. So I'm sorry if you lose me on occasion with audio. The microphone sometimes is behind me. I'm trying to enunciate as well as I can so you guys don't miss it. I don't do enough of these unboxing videos like some people that get nice fun gifts every day. So bear with me. But this is a, I believe this is about a, let's see, once I get it unbundled. Looks like it's about a 6 foot long cable, so take that into consideration. However, if you're like me, you prepare for these things. And from Amazon, for about 12 bucks, I have a 10 foot cable. I have a 6 foot. Both 4K, 2.0, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so there's that. Now let's just now while I'm back here, let's see if I can follow. Ugh, I don't want to unplug anything. This is the only problem. And you're, I don't even know what that is. Well, that's my HDMI switch. I gotta be careful with that. Let's see. That's that. Uh-oh. Is that got it? Nope, I just unplugged the wrong thing. So, that's always good. I'm not sure what I just unplugged, to be honest. Sometimes you have to be careful, you end up unplugging the wrong thing. Like I just did. Which now I have to find. we go. This. Let's plug you back in. Let's see. Doing some reorganization of cables on the fly. Alright, so I have no idea what I just unplugged and plugged in back there, but me, I'm 5'6", so not very tall. My dad, on the other hand, my dad is 6'1". The problem is when you have Crohn's disease as a 5-year, 6, 7-year-old kid, they pump you full of 250 milligrams of prednisone, which is a corticosteroid. And I was on that kind of dose intermittently for 4 years. And then I was on a loading dose of about 5 or between 5 and 20 milligrams over the next 14 years. In total, I was on corticosteroids for 16 years. Kind of stunts your growth. On top of the fact that all the wonderful cancers that could come with it at some point. But hey, let's not be negative today. Alright, so toss this through here. Ow. Now I'm going to figure this out too. Because I've never had to do one of these connect. Now my son, on the other hand, is 5'9". He's actually taking after my dad, which makes sense. Normally height falls on the parents or on the father's side. And he wouldn't necessarily be affected by any of the wonder drugs I had to take as a kid. You know, the problem is when you're on corticosteroids as a kid, they don't tell you that they're essentially a steroid. You know, they just tell you it's prednisone, it's going to make you feel better. And that makes you all happy. The problem is, let's figure all this out here. I'm going to get all this unpacked. I'm probably going to need a guide for this at some point. Let's see what we got here in this connect thing. So that looks like our connect. I'm going to try to peel this plastic off of here. There we go. So that's going to be where the connect port plugs in. That looks like where the USB is going to plug in that gets power and carries a signal. That's our power cable. Let's see. And yes, sadly I will still have some form of a power brick, it looks like, because this thing has a power brick on it. So I can't quite escape the power brick. But that's alright. Well, that's what happens. I've had some people tell me that I have what they call a radio voice. I never buy into it though. Alright, so let's look and see what we got here. So this is my power cable. And that's going to get plugged into here. Okay. So basically I have plugged my power cable into the adapter. The adapter that then goes to the connect adapter. I know, this is like a sea of frickin' cables. I'm adding like an extra 20 pounds of cables to this thing. Alright, so see here, this is a USB, an old school USB with a power connector on the bottom. You see that there? That then goes to a standard USB here. So that's going to end up going to the back of the Xbox One. And then we're going to take our connect cable. Plug that into there. And then just have this crazy daisy chain of items. Okay, so I'm going to try to tuck some of these away. I'm trying to get some cables sorted out here, so don't mind me. Okay, so that is my PS4 cable for the camera. Oh no, that's for my, never mind. That one's not for my camera, that is for the hard drive. I'm thinking I'm gonna do this. There we go. Okay. Whew. Alright, so this is cable. Okay, this is going to be the power for the Xbox One. And somewhere back here I dropped my HDMI cable, which I'm going to have to find. Nope, that's not it. Somehow we got pushed over here. Oh, I see. So that's that. Now I have my power. Got my HDMI. I am just unbundling. No, I have 4 ports on this one, and the 4K TVs I've been looking at, I've been verifying that they will either have 4 or 5. That's kind of always been a thing for me. I want to have a lot of HDMI ports. Right now I do have a splitter. It's mostly because I did run out at one point. Although I'm thinking about retiring my 360 at some point, so that would free up some space. Alright, now this whole debacle for Connect. Okay. We're just going to tuck all this way in the back here, because it's ridiculous. Alright. Time to see if I did all this right. That's my cable box. That's the HDMI. Okay, that's going to be my Connect. I think. There we go. I need to find, yep, my hard drive. There we go. And lastly, but probably no less important, is our power cable. And if I did this all right, and I didn't get it backwards, well, how about that? Okay. Don't mind me. All right. So, I plugged in. We obviously did at least part of it right. Oh shoot, I forgot to hook up my connection. Crap. I gotta find my network cable. Oh man, it's the one thing I didn't. There it is. Hold on, I'm coming, Xbox. I pooched that one real bad. There we go. Check again. There we go. That was dumb. And this is why I wanted to make sure this got here plenty of time before. This Is Us came on. Because updates, they always have to happen. $770 some odd megabytes to go. So while this is happening, I'm going to clean this up. And some will ask, what do you do with your box now that you know, unboxed everything, I actually keep the box. And there is a method to that. There is a reason for that madness. And that reason is, if I have something go wrong with it, it's always nice to have the original package to send it back. Now, some will say, oh, well, maybe you're just looking to resell it at some point. No, that's not the case. It's not for resale. I don't think I've resold any of my... No, I didn't run the stopwatch because I never turned it off. So I just figured, hey, I'd keep that, since I didn't need to do it, I just kept that running. But I do put all my paper and all my other stuff in here. I kind of consolidate it all into one little box. And then put it in my storage cabinet outside. And hopefully, we don't end up with a defective one, because that would really suck. Not that I have heard any issues of consoles being defective or anything of that nature, but you know, these things do happen. Now, real quick, I'm going to get up and turn on my air conditioning because that made me sweat. Oh man, it's already on.
You can't say that because you never sweat.
Well, I don't stink. I'm going to have one of these 7-Ups because I need something that's not caramelized. I'll go pick you up more tonight.
It doesn't need any more. Hopefully that wasn't on screen.
I was absolutely on screen. I burp all the time. I actually get graded on them by people that are watching. It is a bit gross. But you know what they say? You gotta support your fans. Your fans want you to burp. You burp. Okay, so these two controllers are gonna go with that. But all in all, that wasn't terribly wrong. Right now, it's almost 5 o'clock my time. So, 5 o'clock, we probably started that around 4, so between 4 and 4:30. So beginning to end, it took about an hour for the completes removal. Or we went and talked through everything, the complete removal and complete addition, and adding the extra. Now, I do have one test that I want to do. Because at this point, you don't really need me taking pictures of the screen. Ooh. I need to go get scissors real quick. But I'm going to try to turn on capturing again. Okay, so what I've done is I have bought extra 4K cables so I can stream accordingly. Now, in a minute here, I'm gonna disconnect for about 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, you gotta bless you as well from here. I'm gonna kill this stream so I can get everything hooked up capture wise so we can go back to capture. So, thank you for watching. I will be back in about 10 minutes once I get all this squared away and moved around. So stick in the chat. I will be back in a minute.